Good morning, Facebook family, Facebook friends, YouTube. This morning I'm going to go back to the basics of what I said before. I'm not a preacher. I thank God that I'm just a man who sees things in a realistic view of the world and how God wants us to see it. And I don't claim to know the scriptures perfectly, but I do claim to know what God expects from me. And this morning I was reading Isaiah 58. And I was thinking about what God expects, and it says, "Is this the kind of fast I've chosen? Only a day for a man to humble himself? Is it only for bowing one's head like a reed or lying on sackcloth? Is this what you call fast? A day acceptable to the Lord?" And that's how it starts out. Is this what you call? Is this what you call it? Just going without food or going without TV for a week or whatever it may be. Is that what God calls us to? My interesting thing for me is I love to help people. Now, I can't go without eating for more than one day, not because I'm fat, but because I have diabetes, so my sugar would drop real low, and we can't have that happening. And but this is what God says. He says, "Is this not the kind of fast I chose for you? To loose the chains of injustice, to untie the cords of the yoke." And that's the funny thing is that people say, "Well, God will break the chains." He said, "No, no, 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 no. I want you to loose the yoke. I want you to untie the yoke and to loose the chains and untie the cords of the yoke." He said, "I want you to do it, to set the oppressed free and to break every yoke or break every chain." He said, "I want you to do it. Through me, I want you to do it. Don't wait for me to come down there and loose you. I want you to do it. I want you to do it. To share your food with the hungry, to provide the poor, wanderer with shelter. When you see the naked, the clothing, and not turn away from your own flesh and blood, your family, those who need you inside the church, those who need you outside the church, those who are hungry." God calls us to all people as Christ was to all people. We are to be all things to all people. Now, there may be some disagreements with that, and I'm fine. But I know that Christ's love is not exclusive. And we are not to be exclusive of who we help. We are not to be exclusive of who we love. Love thy neighbor as I have loved you, and this is a commandment that he gave us. One thing that I will say right here and right now is that the Shepherd's Fellowship, I have felt that love. And I remember when I first got cancer and how they still pray for me. And I remember J.T. Burke said, "You don't worry about it, buddy. You got an army praying for you." They loved me and cared about me. I made it this far because of love and care. But we should not love and care those, even sinners love those who they like. But we need to love those people that make us mad. I struggle with Virgie's ex-husband all the time on liking him. But the Bible doesn't just call me to like him. The Bible calls me to love him and to pray for him, and I struggle with that. Then your light, but here's what happens, and here's the mighty thing that happens if you do these things. Then your light will break forth like dawn, and your healing will quickly appear. Whoa, wait a minute, I like that because this is what I need to do. I need that healing to appear. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of God will be your rear guard. That means you will be protected when you do these things. Then you will call, and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help, and he will say, "Here I am." If you do away with the yoke of oppression, with the pointing of fingers, with the malice talk, if you spend yourself in behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become the noonday. The Lord will guide you always, and he will satisfy your needs. He will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You will be called to repair broken walls, restore the streets of dwelling. If you call the Sabbath a delight and Lord's holy day honorable, and if you honor it not by going your own way and not be doing as you please or speaking idle words, then you will find the joy in the Lord. And I will cause you to rise on the heights of the land and to feast on the inheritance of your father Jacob. The mouth of the Lord has spoken. Very powerful words. That we are to be repairers of the broken wall, and I like the King James Version says the repairers of the breach, the rebuilders of the bridge that has come between man and God. That it's been broken, that Satan has tried to tear apart, and God fixed when he went to Calvary. Grace and mercy is there for all, and it is our job to put that and portray that to the world. And I want you to know, again, I'm not a preacher. I don't claim to be, and I don't want to be. But what I want to be is a man who follows God. People say they want to wait to get to heaven and they want to hear, well done, good and my faithful servant. I do too. But what I also want to hear is God say, there's a man after my own heart like he did David. Even though David sinned, even though David failed, he said, there you go, buddy. You're just like me. Your heart's like mine. And I believe that our heart becomes like God's when we begin to love our neighbor without judging, without malice, but begin to love unconditionally as Christ loved us. So I challenge you today to pray for those who despitefully use you, to find somebody to help, invite them to church, pray for them, love on them, and let's begin to be preparers in the breach. I thank you for taking your time to listen to me, and as always, I will leave you with two things. My God is so good, and Sean's still pretty. Have a great day.